Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to leave a like. It is a free and easy way to support the channel. I told you at the beginning of the month you would start to see the trend. Why do I always forget that word and I say it like 9,000 times? The trend within the cryptocurrency space over the course of this winter, if you dare. So for those of you who've been missing a lot of videos, we are on the cusp of absolute insanity. And I don't mean like, oh my gosh, that guy's crazy. I mean like, no, like the world is about to like be flipped on its head. So as far as we know, it looks like in the next couple of weeks, months, I can't really tell you, that the US is going to begin to officially start buying Bitcoin, at least at the time of me making this video. The other part is that we've been hearing quite frequently that a number of other companies and countries have apparently joined the fray. If you've missed, I want to say the last week, we heard from a number of states within the US who are also going to start buying their own Bitcoin for their own reserve, which is crazy because the initial proposed amount that the US wants to buy is apparently going to be like for the US in total. It's difficult to explain, but it's not really. So now we have individual states who also want their own stash of Bitcoin. I think we also just heard from some other country's province. I don't remember. It's been a lot of stuff happening over and over, like I always tell you. I think people think that crypto is relatively like straightforward. You buy it, you hold it, cool, you made money. But there's like so much happening at any given time. So today we have information from Mr. Michael Novogratz, who is one of the more popular people within the space. And I want to say more level-headed. I don't really know. A lot of people within crypto, especially like the higher ups, tend to be a little bit more interesting in their thoughts about life and about crypto and about who Bitcoin is exactly for. But Mike Novogratz seems to be one of the more level-headed people. So as the discussion goes on as to literal hyperbitcoinization, where in the future, everything you buy and everything you see will be priced in Bitcoin. Next year looks like the year where that's going to happen. What is it, like two weeks away? For, like I said, like you may hear what I'm saying, or you may not. I don't know who you are. Or you might be looking at things on Twitter, but what you're not getting is that the shift of power is very real. And one of my friends, we were just having dinner, and he looked me dead in my eyeball, and he said, he said if the United States openly announces that they're going to be buying Bitcoin, he's like, I can never sell any Bitcoin. He said, I'm going to have to sell stuff in my house to buy more Bitcoin, not financial information, news. You know what I'm talking about. He was like, this means that Bitcoin's going to several $1 million per coin. He's like, anyone who doesn't have it is going to, like, I don't want to use the words he said, have a really bad time. You can fill in the blanks for what you think he said. Mike Novogratz is in the news today, basically talking about what we've been going over. I need you to all be on board to know that the world has changed quite quickly. He said, and I do quote, countries are already buying BTC in huge volumes. There are massive pools of capital entering the market. We're witnessing global adoption at scale, and the next rally could be massive. Buckle up. If you've been missing it, the general consensus now is, you have some people, and I don't want to say the term naysayers. They're more like, I don't know sayers as far as where the future of Bitcoin and crypto are actually going to be and going to go. Everything is optimistic, but some are optimisticer than others. And it falls down to the idea of the end of like cycles. Like this is the last, or rather the last one was the last cycle that we're ever going to have, you know, where Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin goes up, like that kind of thing. Because as we've been going over, in a future, a reality, if you will, where the US is buying up Bitcoin, so is every other country. The buy orders that we have now in the market are like tremendous. Like, whoa, my gosh, there's so many of them. Now, add 193 countries and about a good 1.5 billion people to that actual buy list. Anytime that someone sells, those coins, as we've gone over, are going to be bought up. This is happening now. We're not even talking about the next like generation of the, you know, oh my gosh, the future. We're like, everyone's buying it. This is what's happening also right now. We know that because we've seen the news thousands and thousands of, literally thousands of times. Every time that someone sells, there are whales buying up. We've gone over that news perplexing amount of time. Any single time that someone has sold or the price goes down like a little bit, behind the scenes, there are whale wallets buying up all the Bitcoin. And of course, this only becomes evident when Bitcoin goes past 80,000, 90,000, 100,000. That people go, oh my word, what's happening to the market? And it's like what's been happening for the last decade. In his Bloomberg interview, Novogratz elaborated on the unprecedented interest from sovereign entities. We know for a fact that there are about 7 or 8 countries who are currently using Bitcoin, not just mining it, actually using it. And these are countries that are under sanctions. What we're talking about now are basically every other country realizing what's going on, that Bitcoin has the scarcity, the strength, and the power to actually overthrow the US dollar, the world reserve currency, and actually become the new world reserve currency. Essentially meaning, as we've been going over for years and years, you know, it's just randomly throwing it out there. Basically meaning anyone who owns Bitcoin kind of like owns the wealth of the future. There's one person who says something slightly cringy, and I know it makes sense, but it was also like, ugh, like kind of this guy. Who was it? Was it Michael Saylor? I don't remember. Somebody said a couple of months ago, he said buying Bitcoin now is like buying land in Manhattan in like 1803. And I was like, that's a weird way of putting it. You could have said anything else, but like it does kind of make sense, especially in the world if you're talking about like Bitcoin maximalist world, where the expectation is one day that Bitcoin goes to $100 million per coin. It sounds crazy. It is a little bit, but it's also because of the way that the world. Novogratz said he apparently was talking to someone he calls a close associate. Okay. The person who introduced him to Bitcoin in 2013. This guy's apparently currently in the Middle East. That's where usually a lot of the money ends up flowing. He said, and I quote, he's never seen anything like it. He's convinced more people to buy Bitcoin in 3 days. Over here. There we go. The camera, sometimes I can see when it focuses over here and I'm like, that's not my face. In 3 days, then he's been able to do so in his entire career. There are huge pools of capital, so we are seeing something globally. This is, I guess, just a reminder to everyone out there. For those of you who, last point, for those of you who, I'm pretty sure it's called Veblen. I don't have my phone here. I would Google it. We are hilariously close to a Bitcoin, one Bitcoin, being worth more than a home in the United States. If you remember the other videos we were talking about, there were analysts who were saying that once Bitcoin like reaches a certain number, it'll be seen as like an asset like exclusively for the wealthy. And the idea is that, and one of my ideas as well, is that when Bitcoin passes the price of a home in the US around like $250,000, $300,000 per coin, we're basically at the point of no return. So what we're waiting for now is basically the names of these countries and these other sovereign entities who are buying large amounts and who will probably be buying for the number 4 ever. Yeah, that's the it's the title is Nation State Bitcoin FOMO is Real. That's a crazy title. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I hope you've all been having a good season. I hope you've all been doing what you need to do to procure your generational wealth. And I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.